Remember just some basic class rules, right? Only one person speaks at a time, right? All microphones, please mute it unless you've been assigned or you've been allowed to speak, okay? Turn off your web cameras, okay? And remember, students, let's just practice a lot of self-respect as well as respect for other people around us. Okay, now we're going to start with a little bit of oral first, okay? What we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about what the different segments of the paper are. Now, for the Sec 1s and Sec 2s, your syllabus will be a bit different, okay? Instead of the usual visual that you'll be given for your stimulus-based conversation, what you'll actually be dealing with is a video, okay? And you're expected to give some response to the video. If you're not able to hear me, then listen to the recording. Okay, I have no idea. I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you, especially when it's not on your end. Maybe it could be your microphone that has a problem, your headphone that has a problem, or your audio set at home. Okay, because the rest of the students are able to hear me. Okay, now we start with the reading aloud, which is 10 marks for one passage, as well as your stimulus-based conversation, 20 marks, one topic. Usually the passage as well as the conversation topics are linked by a theme. Okay, now remember students, for the oral, the reading passage, try to read with good pronunciation, clear articulation, and appropriate intonation to convey, right, the information, ideas, and feelings in a passage, right? Basically, you're supposed to read and convey certain ideas that you have in the text, right, to the examiner, okay? And of course, produce a very well-paced, okay? Let me select oopsie. Okay, hang on. Okay, so you're supposed to produce a well-paced, fluent reading of the passage as best as you can with as few interruptions as possible. Okay, candidates, remember, please, you're supposed to read aloud a short text presented on a computer screen, right? Okay, bearing in mind the purpose, audience, and context. Okay, a short instruction will guide candidates on the context in which the given text is to be read aloud, right? Basically, you will know the background of it to be able to help you read better. Okay, the text may be a short narrative, news report, speech, or an announcement, or a mixture of types and forms. So basically, you are given, a variety of text to actually to actually read aloud. Okay, candidates are assessed on their ability to accurately pronounce and clearly articulate the words in the text and read fluently and expressively, showing an awareness of the purpose, audience, and context. Okay, now so remember that you're supposed to be serving your purpose, audience, and context, and that's why you have to read aloud the text that way. Okay, now students, remember we have to, or rather whenever we make or whenever we read the passage, right, we have to deal with it with ACE, right? Appropriate intonation, stress, pace, and pauses. Okay, clear pronunciation. Make sure that whenever you deliver the passage, a text, right, it is very clear as best as you can. Okay, and then you express yourself as best as you can, your expressiveness. Okay, now remember students, whenever you have a text, okay, it is your duty to make sure it is expressive as possible. You put yourself in the shoes of the character. Okay, pretend to be the character, speak like how the character is feeling. Stress or emphasize on some of the words to show your emotion, basically, right? Or rather show their emotion because it's supposed to be in their shoes, right? Do not read too fast so that you can relay the emotion and thoughts of the words more clearly. Okay, so when you slow down, actually you find that you're able to, relay the emotions properly, so to speak, right? Okay, things to take note, right? Is it an announcement? Is it a speech? Is it a report? So all these things you have to bear in mind, right? So whenever you deliver the text, okay, you need to remember all these things to be able to convey what you're actually reading. Okay, is the text about someone asking for help? Is the text actually telling a story? What you need to bear in mind when you're delivering the text. Okay, remember students, you need to take into consideration who is the text for. Okay, is it just an announcement for pupils or is it a fiction text, right? These are some things that you should take note of. Okay, now, final tips before we practice, okay, to have clear and consistently good pronunciation, appropriate intonation, right? Whenever you have to ask a question, you actually ask it in a question manner, right? You don't say it as a statement. Okay, try not to have any hesitations. Take note of the context of the passage. Use the context to help you effectively convey the information, okay, ideas and feelings in the passage. All right, now, We're going to be doing practicing using a passage now. Okay, in this passage, a writer struggles with his next book. All right. Now, I'm going to allocate one paragraph to different students. So if you like to read, can you just raise your hands so that I can give you the opportunity to read? Okay, Chloe. Thank you, Chloe. Anybody else wants to read? Shrita, thank you very much. Anybody else wants to help me? Harsh? Anybody? Okay, I've got 2 more paragraphs, I think. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more. Okay, very good. Thank you, Harsh. Who is Alice? Does Alice want to help me? No? Zoom user? Who is Zoom user? Oliver? Elvin? Anybody wants to help me? If not, I'm going to end up reading it on my own. Oh no! Do I really have to read the rest of my own, or should I just rotate again? So we have Chloe, we have Shita, and we have Harsh. Okay, I'm not going to give too much about this, okay? So I don't want to waste too much time deciding who's going to read what. All right, now I'm just going to flash it out for about 2 minutes, okay? Take a look at the passage, all right? Practice reading it aloud, and then we can start reading it, okay? Let's go.